Hey Scorpio, this one's for you. Okay, this is a little 3-card quickie video for the Saturn Retrograde 2017 for this spring and summer, okay, from Tarot Lumination, and that's you, Scorpio. Don't forget to read for your, like, the sun and the moon and the rising and all of that stuff. You know the drill, okay? Now, with this Saturn retrograde, it's not going to be as scary as you might think because there's a big fat grand fire train that goes along with it anyway. And it's not like you're getting a direct hit. For you, Scorpio, the Saturn retrograde is happening in your second house, which is to do with like your resources, your wealth, your treasures, your natural talents, your gifts, it's like your belief in yourself and all of that, and how others believe in you. Okay, now I'll just do this quickly. Hold on. So where is dear Scorpio? Where are you? I can't find you. I'm lost. Whoa, 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 whoa. Okay, so let's pretend that's you, okay? So for you, Saturn is over here in Sagittarius in the second house, and it's getting close to the end of its trip here, so you've probably been through a lot of stuff already to do with your money and your finances, and especially money and finances, and it might have been really grueling over the last 2 years, but you've come out the other side and you're going to be okay, all right? But Saturn is in Sagittarius, and it's going retrograde, so it's like the truth police are coming in for a final big sweep over the next few months. For you, Scorpio, it's just like, okay, we're going to go back to the car analogies like we did with everybody else when you do your, sun, moon, and rising readings. Just pretend you're in a car with your friends and family or whatever, and you have to go through one of those community checkpoints. And the cops are just pulling you over. You don't even know why. Just like, what's going on, people? The traffic's slowing down. It's a pain in the neck. What are they doing, people? Honk, honk, honk. Don't stress, okay? They're not putting people in jail. This is not the feds. It's not the SWATs or anything. It's just the community police checking in. Is everything in order? Now, for you, Scorpio, in particular, they're going to be looking at your finances and your money, your approaches to money, the health and the truth about what's happening with money in your life and resources in general, your stuff. So whatever's out of whack, the truth is going to be exposed. But don't take it personally. They're not trying to hurt your feelings. You're not going to go to jail, okay? They might give you a ticket or a warning or just say, hi, Mr. Scorpio, Mr. or Ms. Scorpio. You need to take care of this, 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 and this, and this, okay? Now, move on. Have a great day. Have a great life. Bye. Next. So that's the kind of vibe, all right? So don't get too worked up. Don't get too worked up, but it's going to happen. So just best to let it happen. So we're just going to do a 3-card quickie for you. What's the situation? What's the challenge? And how are we going to deal with it? Okay? Just get into it and have a quickie look here. All right? Situation. Challenge. How are we going to handle it? All right. So what is the situation? Wow. News is coming in. Whatever it is, it looks like good news is coming. Actually, for some reason, I'm taking this as a very good card right now. As your reader for all these other readings, it's been challenging for me, to tell you the truth, to read these little 3-card quickies because there's an awful lot squashed into very little space. But it's been hard to do to give a full-blown reading. But this seems very simple to me, in that you've already done a good job, Scorpio, and that's great. And you deserve some really good results, good outcomes, and it's going to be showing very, very soon. And in fact, it might be that through this Saturn retrograde period, you're going to actually start to see the results of your labors. In other words, it's just like going through an action replay of everything that all the work that you've done already. And you're going to get a chance to see how it's all going to come and blossom in the future when you come out the other side of the retrograde, because it looks to me, Scorpio, that you've already done an awful lot of homework because you've been under so much pressure in this area, and especially with love and money, people really, really feel it. So if you've been really feeling like under pressure regarding money, Saturn has been just sitting there grinding away, but you've been taking it. It's been rough, but you've been taking it, and it's starting to show signs. Then this is a strong, very strong positive indicator, a very spirited indicator that you are on the right path, okay? That's what this little card is telling me. There's more to do, otherwise we wouldn't have the retrogrades, and the whole retrograde idea is to figure out what else there is to do, because you must be doing a pretty good job already. So what's the challenge here? Okay, it might have hurt. In the process of upgrading yourself, your values, the truth of who you really truly believe you are, it might have been painful, especially when it comes to matters of the heart. In other words, it's almost like these are two highly incongruous parts of your life, for example, where in your with all good intentions, minding your own business, taking care of your business, literally solidifying your finances and doing it properly, it might have exposed other aspects of your life which are nothing to do with money, which have left you feeling like sad. In other words, it's almost like a coulda, woulda, shoulda card here, where like, man, I wish I had known all this crap earlier and dealt with it long ago, regarding like the truth of my beliefs and what I thought was, and about life and everything, people, especially the people in life that I love. Because in the process of me getting my act together with the real hardcore nuts and bolts of life, which you need for all the rest of your life, I discovered things in my heart that were actually very painful. And I know people who are actually dealing with this exact pattern right now. It looks very incongruous, but it can happen in such a way that when you're dealing very responsibly with one aspect of the life of your life, problems are exposed in other areas that are painful. Now, from what I can tell here in this reading, it involves matters of the heart. Okay, so something very dear to you either has been spilt or lost or is in a state of deep suffering and anguish, and it hurts. Okay, and the challenge is to accept that. It's not your fault. It's just a consequence of you minding your own business and taking care of business in a very responsible way. And in so doing, you might have exposed flaws in yourself that were painful to accept, like your own feelings were hurt. Like I wasn't aware that I had been damaging myself so much, or being so self-destructive, or I had been operating in unhealthy relationships, or there were parts of my love, the things that I love in life, that are sad and broken, and I didn't even know. But in the process of just me taking care of myself, dear Scorpio, I've discovered that I'm hurting inside, and it's almost like it's nothing to do with the Saturn retrograde, but it is directly related to the Saturn pattern of having to take care of business and get your life together in the three-dimensional reality. So it hurts, but don't forget, you still got these. You still got love. Love is coming anyway, even though it might not be there right now. So how are you going to deal with this challenge? Because that's very awkward. The way to deal with it is just to accept it. Okay? I'm not saying that this is going to be the outcome. I'm saying that in this little reading to you, these seem like very incongruous cards here for this particular reading. But the way I feel about this is that you've been doing a really good job of taking care of business and doing what has to be done under this Saturn period for the last few years. And we've got, pretty much to the end of this year to figure it out. So bravo, Scorpio. But in the process, there has been some serious pain and suffering in matters of the heart, which are almost really undeserved. It's just that they are as like a side effect or a consequence of taking care of business, getting your act together. So there might have been some immaturity in matters of the heart, which are now becoming apparent. And it hurts. And nobody wants to go through a grieving process because grieving and sadness itself, by definition, is painful. Okay? So how are you going to do with it? You allow it to happen. You will literally allow the sense, whatever remaining sense of poverty and lack and what is out of whack, what is still out of order, you allow that to come to the surface, no matter how painful it might be. And you understand and accept that a lot of the times in our life, especially for Scorpio, when it involves other people's resources, okay, that's the 8th house natural energy of Scorpio. It might just be that over life, over time, poor decisions may have occurred. In other words, it may have been like cyclical, repeated karmic patterns of making the wrong decisions in relationships and matters of the heart, which left you feeling impoverished, okay? And if that is the case, and you're willing to understand that sometimes our own sense of worth and our own sense of value can be very, 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 I'm not saying dependent, but contingent upon the choices we make about the people with whom we associate. Okay, and that's okay. It's like a very strange, like step process from here to here to here, to get to the realization that when the truth police come along, the reality is that you might have made some poor decisions or had to live with some decisions or situations that led to a sensation of crushing poverty. You've dealt with it, and that's okay, and you're dealing with it, but it's sad to have a sort of nostalgic look back and realize that these were your own decisions. No harm is intended here. A lot of love may have been exchanged and enjoyed, but still, the way to deal with the remaining pain and suffering that goes with your own evolution is to let it happen and understand that we're all innocent in so many ways, and that you're going to make better decisions in the future about the company that you keep. Okay, because it's very, very important for you, Scorpio, the company that you keep regarding your resources. Okay, that's what I got for you. No pain, okay? We're going to deal with it, Scorpio. You're going to be fine, all right? All right? Hang in. You're going to be fine.